What's good, YouTube? It's Aiden and welcome back to the channel. Y'all already know we doing this channel where we react to stuff, we break it down. But today we got Andrew Tate exclusive interview about his jail life, the Matrix religion, and future plans. I ain't gonna cap. This podcast is about to break the internet for a fact. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the GOAT is finally back. He came back to talk all of his shit. Hey boy, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this video, smash that like button, that comment button, that subscribe button. I got videos coming every single day. Let's see what Andrew Tate got to say today. This is going to be part 1 though. I might have to do a part 2 and a part 3 though. No cap.
I have some questions on that as well. But the first thing I want to ask you is, 9 months, where we were at then, September, to where we are today, a lot's changed. How do you feel with everything that's going on? And tell us a little bit about your current state today.
Yeah, there's a very strange sense of terror that comes from knowing exactly what's going to happen to you. There's a strange sense of calm that comes from it also, but in the middle of the night, when you can't sleep, sometimes you feel happy knowing what they're trying to do to you, and sometimes you feel terrified knowing what they're trying to do to you.
It's just the fact that he's completely right. Like, everything he done said so far has been actually happening, like, step by step. He does this is going to happen. He does this is going to happen. Like, bro, what? Like, hold on.
Sleep. Sometimes you feel happy knowing what they're trying to do to you, and sometimes you feel terrified knowing what they're trying to do to you. I think I'm very happy. Every single podcast I did previous to this, I hammered the point home, and I made it very clear that they had the intention of trying to put me in jail. I said, there's 3 lives. They try and cancel you and slander you and destroy your name. They don't just want you to disappear from the internet. They want you to disappear from the internet in a cloud of shame. They have to shame you, which is why they chose the crimes they did for me, and it's why they usually choose the crimes they choose, because it's heinous. They want to shame you, and they want you to disappear with your head facing the ground and never pop up again. Obviously, they attempted to cancel me.
It's just like the fact that people have that much power to like just cancel you out of life, which is absolutely insane. Like, you got to think about the higher power behind things. That is ridiculous. Like, they could just shut you out like you never existed. Is crazy. Like, nigga,
facing the ground and never pop up again. Obviously, they attempted to cancel me. I became more famous than ever before. I even said to you on your podcast, and I said on other podcasts, I said, I think they made a mistake. I think when you have power and you overuse it, what happens is a rebellion. That's how a revolution starts. When you have power, you have to be very, very careful with how you use that power. The second you overuse it, there's a revolution.
You're done.
Romania, so they know all about that. That's exactly what happens. And I said at the time, I think I was a mistake. I think they made a big mistake canceling me the way they did. And then the second time, the second life, which I described as they try and put you in jail for no reason. Here we are in the current scenario. I knew it was going to happen. And the third one is they put a bullet in your head. So we're going to have to see
they can't kill my nigga Tate.
Life plays out.
I go crazy to kill my nigga Tate.
Yeah, I mean, when this is all over and I win the court case and I get the not guilty, I won't be smiling. I'll be walking out the courtroom with my head on a swivel. That's the kind of life I'm living now. I'm going to be thinking, oh, okay, so their second attempt failed. Now what? Like, do I want to fly private anymore? Do I want to go that place anymore? You start to think about these things. Like, do I want to do these things? A lot of billionaires dying in plane crashes. It's strange.
It's just the fact when they got locked up. Okay, damn. I'm like, hold on. You tasted this? It gotta be cap. It's the Matrix, like, which is absolutely crazy. I'm like, okay, they about to get out. Nope, push that date back somewhere. Okay, they about to get out this month. No, you're in there 30 more days. Oh, you're about to get out again? No, you're in there 30 more days. Like, they wanted that nigga guilty like a motherfucker.
These things, like, do I want to do these things? A lot of billionaires dying in plane crashes. It's strange. So it's scary, regardless of how it plays out. And I guess you just have to go with the punches and see where it lands. And God has a plan for me and for all of us, and we're just going to see how it ends up.
Full disclosure, you don't have any suicidal thoughts.
I want to make it very clear, and I make it clear on absolutely every single podcast.
He ain't killing himself,
I don't care
ever.
what they say. I don't care what video they show you. Never under any circumstance would I kill myself. It's haram. Never. I don't care if they put me back in the dungeon, solitary confinement by myself for the rest of my human years. I would never kill myself. I ain't gonna lie.
I go crazy if I was in jail. I start talking to myself. Like, second day, they have to put me in like a whole different section because I'm be with the crazy people. I'm gonna start talking to myself and all, and then get me up out of here.
Solitary confinement by myself for the rest of my human years. I would never kill myself. Ever. So if that ever happens, God forbid, do not believe whatever garbage they tell you.
It's the Matrix.
Killing myself is precisely 0.
And you had this complete level of certainty that this is exactly how it would play out. You've said this on umpteen podcasts that this is their agenda.
They have to damage my influence. They have to damage my influence. They can't sit there and let me be influential because I'm saying things that they don't like me saying.
And that's fact.
And there are people sitting around going, he's saying things counter to our message and counter to our narrative. Get rid of him. And they have a pretty standardized playbook. And this is probably one of the first times in history where their playbook just isn't working. Cancel him. Well, he's still around. Oh, well, lie about him in the news. Just say he touches chicks.
He's still back.
Well, no one believes it. Oh, all the comments are on his side. Everyone's calling us liars. Okay, then do it again. Then do it again. Make up a new girl. Then do it again. Find someone else.
Yeah.
And they keep attacking me with the same weapons, but the bullets are bouncing off. And that doesn't give me a sense of calm.
That was the most I'm him statement ever. Like, anything you do is not going to help you at all. I'm not going nowhere, and I'm going to talk my shit. I'm not going to cap. I'm a fan of Andrew Tate. He be talking some real shit, and that's what people don't like. The more power you got, the bigger the target on your back, and that's a fact.
Same weapons, but the bullets are bouncing off. And that doesn't give me a sense of calm. That doesn't make me think, ha ha ha, I'm invincible. It makes me think, uh-oh.
I'm scared.
It makes me think, uh-oh, because human life is cheap at the top. It's very cheap.
Does it make you want to sit on the sidelines and be quiet and just kind of live a life with your family, your kids? Does it make you want to do that? Maybe all these attention is actually not a good thing.
It's interesting because sometimes I analyze myself and think, why don't I just do that? Why don't I just disappear? You know, I don't need money. I don't need fame. Why don't I just disappear? And then you have
You're a role model, nigga.
I was saying this to my brother, and he was like, well, Genghis Khan didn't need Vienna. Some people are just wired that way. Like, Vienna's a long way from Kathmandu.
Hey,
sometimes that's just the way it is. Or Ulaanbaatar, I apologize to capital of Mongolia. That's just the way some people are. If I see injustice, and if I see things which I believe to be false, I feel like I am obligated to say the truth. I can't explain why, even at my own detriment. What am I doing this for? Like, it's to the detriment of my life.
I'm telling you, at this point, this nigga's Batman. He's the world's Batman. Facts, though.
Detriment. What am I doing this for? Like, it's to the detriment of my life. And I've had these conversations at length with the people close to me, and we're all saying the same thing. It's always been the same way. There's been a select, small, few good men up against evil, and evil always outnumbers you. Evil always has more money than you. They always have more power and more influence than you. If you play any video game, when you get to the end boss, he always has more life than you. He always has more hit points, but you're the good guy. And it's kind of like,
his brain is crazy,
it's never been
bro.
any different.
His delivery and his points are so valid. It's absolutely crazy. Like, the way he words his words is ridiculous. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm not glazing Tate, but this nigga's a genius.
Points, but you're the good guy. And it's kind of like, it's never been any different. At any point in human history, there's been the good guys up against the forces of evil, whatever they were of the time, and you've always been outnumbered, and you've always been supposed to lose.
So you consider yourself the good guy in this situation?
I think that truth is instilled by God in all of us, and I think if you tell the truth, you're a good person.
So who do you think is the bad guy? You know, everyone uses they, them, they're after me. Who's they? Who's the bad guy?
Well, instead of saying who, I will say, what I will start by saying is what they do. And what they do is they control information. And we now live in an information society, and by controlling information, they control how people think and act.
And they control the world.
So that's all they have to do. They have to control information.
That's exactly what TikTok, like, they control what you see on TikTok. You scroll past it so much, everything you see is what they want you to see, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm locked in on all this, my nigga. Facts.
And by controlling information, they control how people think and act and react to things. That's all they have to do. They have to control information, and they have to be very selective with what they allow you to talk about, and what they allow you to discuss, and what they don't.
That's facts.
And once they can do that, they can keep you bickering about garbage, and they can control the sensitive information, and then they run the world. So having all the information controlled and having this hard barrier on what can be discussed, that's how they can purport absolute fallacies. I think now it's been a couple of years, we can probably talk about it. They psyoped the world into believing they should be afraid of the common cold. They psyoped the world into this. And if you think about how difficult that would be to do, how difficult would it be to psyop the entire population of Earth? Well, what you do is you just lie on repeat, and you don't allow anyone to say anything counter to it without hurting them the same way I've been hurt. And you just psyop them. It's actually amazing, because now I use that exact same psyop on people. I love it. I love it. So when I sit with someone who's not matrix-minded, when I sit with someone who is matrix-minded, like when the BBC walked in here, I'm like, do you all have your vaccinations? Social distancing, 100%. Social distancing, please. And they look at me like I'm crazy. Well, how am I crazy? 2 years ago, you were telling me to do this. Now when I repeat your own worldview to you, I'm crazy. Well, if I'm crazy, guess what? You're a fucking liar. Because you lied the whole time. So either you're a liar or I'm not. You know, how can I be nuts? Put your fucking mask on. If I ever talk to any of these clowns again, they're going to be fully masked up. And I refuse. I don't care if you've had 2 booster jabs. No, I want all 6. All 6 injections.
I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I ain't get the vaccine. I won't pay attention to none of that. I just want Bobby to go get that motherfucker.
I don't care if you've had 2 booster jabs. No, I want all 6. All 6 injections. I want paperwork. Or get fucked.
You're not coming in the house.
Get fucked. I'm scared of COVID. It's dangerous. I believe the mainstream media. I'm scared.
Troll, bro.
This word you keep using, PSYOP, I've never heard this. What it's short for psychological operations?
Correct.
Break that down. What exactly is a PSYOP?
Yeah, a PSYOP is the Matrix as a whole. It's like psychological operations are constant. They constantly decide how they want you to think and what they can do to make you believe that. Right?
And this
There's
is
a whole
all
bunch
facts,
of them
I'm
they do.
telling you.
But it starts with tolerance. That's what I don't like about this whole guise of tolerance. It's not that I'm an intolerant person. It's not that I'm a bad person. It's not that I want to hurt other people. But when they keep pushing tolerance, what they're trying to say is have no standards or barriers or parameters for anything. That's what they want. You have to be tolerant. Tolerant of what? Tolerant of having your shop set on fire. Tolerant of your kids being taught things you don't want. Tolerant of crime. Tolerant of your house being broken into. Like, tolerant of what? You're not allowed any hard barrier or any hard parameters as a man anymore. That's why they push tolerance. That's the beginning of it. That's the first stage. Once you accept absolute tolerance, well, then it's the end, isn't it? I'm tolerant of everything. I'll eat the bugs. Sure.
You'll tolerate everything.
I'll tolerate everything. I'm tolerant. Sure. So when I say things like I'm intolerant of certain things and people think that's bad.
By the way he talking, he making jail seem lit as hell. Like I might have to go in there for like a month. But nah, like the way he was posting on Instagram when it happened, I mean not Instagram, but Twitter, like the bugs, bed bugs, all this shit was absolutely crazy. If I was in there, I'm telling you, I would have been in the crazy house.
I ended up making friends with them, and like I had grandmas in there, the old ladies cooking the food. And by trying to make people happy and smile all the time, I started to feel a lot happier. But it's kind of scary, and I think the scariest thing about jail was the uncertainty of it all. If they would have said to me, you're in jail for 92 days, or even 5 years, you got 5 years, cool, I do my time.
Yeah,
when
right.
you're nabbed and thrown in a cell without charge, you're like, well, how long, is this my life? Is this it now? Is this the end of the story? I'm just in this cell. And I was picked up on 29th of December. I went through this quick court case. Like I said, I'm inside of the jurisdiction of Romania, so I have to be very careful with what I say because the case is ongoing and we're in Romania and I can't leave Romania. But obviously Romanian court is in Romanian by law. So you're marched into this room, everyone speaks a language you don't understand for 15 minutes, and then you're marched off to jail. You're like, what even happened? What even happened to me? And they said, oh, here's the paper that explains it. I was like, that's in Romanian. And they said, oh, don't worry, you'll get a translation to English by law.
I will be
I said,
damned.
okay, that's fine. But because I was picked up on the 29th of December, and
The way they was treating this nigga was absolutely crazy. Like they really wanted him out of here. Like I guess because his influence is so powerful, they can't do nothing but like try to get him off the map. Because when I tell you he can influence like half of the whole world, he has did that, and it's been crazy. Matter of fact, like he pops up on my TikTok at random at some points. Like I don't see him for months, and then next thing you know, I'm scrolling on my TikTok. He's on my TikTok. Like, what does he figure out the whole
I said, oh, don't
algorithm?
worry, you'll get a
Like,
translation to English by law. I was like, okay, that's fine. But because I was picked up on the 29th of December and there was New Year's Eve and holidays, it was 2 weeks before I even knew why I was in jail.
I will be damned.
2 solid weeks
I
I'm in
will be
jail.
damned.
No one told me in English why I'm in jail. I had no idea what the
Can
charge.
they do that?
By law, you get it on the piece of paper in English, but there's translation, it's holiday, we need to find a translator, there's a delay.
And you speak zero Romanian.
0. So they said, oh yeah, human trafficking. I'm like, what do you mean human trafficking? Who? When? What? What is this? Took 2 weeks before I finally got a piece of paper, and then I realized what garbage it truly was. I mean, I knew it was garbage, but I was like, this is complete garbage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have endless stories from jail. It was certainly. I don't think jail teaches you much new. What it does is confirm everything you already know. It confirms everything you know about the reality of the outside world, that you need to be physically strong so that you're not attacked by others, and mentally strong so you're not attacked by yourself. You learn who's on your side and who isn't. You learn who's a coward and who's not. You learn the people around you.
I don't get how he manages to
that's
speak
for sure.
so much facts all
But
the
I
time,
remember
bro. Like,
it was New Year's Eve. When I was first picked up on the 29th of December, I was very sure I'd be out 24 hours. So there's no way they're going to keep me. For what? Like this doesn't make sense. So finally New Year's Eve rolls around, and I'm sitting in the jail cell by myself. And in Romanian jail, you don't leave the room. It's not like an American jail where there's a yard.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
stuck in the room.
Hell no.
It's 3x4, and that's your existence.
I will be damned.
By yourself,
24 hours
Tristan.
a day. At the beginning, I was by myself. And you're stuck in this room, and I'm sitting there. It's New Year's Eve, and there's a very faint speaker, maybe way down the hallway. The guards must have been having a little party for New Year's Eve. And there's this awful song. It's called the Ketchup Song. I don't know if you know what it is. I don't want to sing it, but it goes, hey, hey,
of course.
That super annoying song. And I'm sitting there, and I know it's New Year's Eve because the fireworks start going off. And I'm looking out my tiny window, and I can just hear in the very long distance from the end of the hallway, hey, hey. And I'm sitting there looking out the window, like, this can't be it. This can't be the end of my life. Even the cockroaches all over the walls didn't celebrate. There was maybe 15 cockroaches on the walls, right? And when it struck 12 and the fireworks went off, I kind of like, well, who's my friends in here? The cockroaches. I looked at them, even they didn't move. It's like, well, that's New Year's. It's funny because before that, a couple days before that, me and Tristan were discussing, do we want to do New Year's in Dubai? Do we want to go Courchevel? Shall we go Miami? We're all hard.
I am cap. I'm not gonna lie. Half of this just shows how unjust the world is for a fact. Andrew Tate has spoke so many facts in just this short amount of time. This is going to be the end of part 1. If y'all want a part 2, let me know in the comment section down below. I just had to see what was going on with Andrew Tate because I haven't heard from him in a minute. And this is the first interview he did, I think, since he's been back. I think so. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, that comment button, subscribe button. Let's get this video to 500 likes for part 2. I'm out.